please give a big freaking welcome to Stobbelaar.
Welcome, everyone. We're feeling good? Really? We're feeling good? What about in the back? We're feeling good? Good. We should be feeling good. We're living the best time in human history. A world where anything seems possible. I mean, you can voice your opinion in a matter of seconds, book a stranger's apartment in a couple of minutes, order anything we want and get it delivered within a day, and be anywhere in the world within a week. I mean, we're talking about self-driving cars, people. Every day, there's something new and something innovative. I mean, we've become to expect that an HD movie starts playing within seconds, and are quickly complain when it doesn't, right? Everything is amazing, and nobody's happy. Let's face it, innovation has become the new norm. It's become boring. It's something we're used to. In the process, we're so good at it right now that we almost stop appreciating it. It's become the minimum requirement to stand out. It's not good enough to just be good or successful. You have to innovate or die trying. Even this idea of innovation, it comes with this image that you come up with one idea, one brilliant moment. You start working on that idea, you get your team together, you work on it, and then you launch it, and then it's just a success, without any mistakes. And that is just not true. The iPhone did not start out as the iPhone. It started out as the iPad, and it was probably a failed iMac design before that. Twitter was made up during a hacking session at a podcast company called Odeo. Odeo does not exist anymore. And Pixar, before they became this blockbuster animation studio, they were selling hardware computers. Things don't go right immediately, or even on the second try. Often, these companies had to try and fail, and then try again, fail again, over and over. I mean, in a way, innovation is like learning a new skill. Have you ever tried learning a new skill? My example is that as a teenager, I was peer pressured into skateboarding, which was great. But after a while, you upgrade to the skate park and you go there. There was this big half pipe. And so, I'm brave enough, I can do this. So I walk up to the half pipe, stand on the edge, and I let myself fall. And I keep falling until I smack down on the ground. Hard. So hard, in fact, that I was about to cry. But mostly I was so embarrassed because everybody was looking at me and just laying there. And that's where this older kid came up to me. He's like, "Hey, you okay?" I was like, "Yeah." And then he said something I still remember. "Don't worry, kid. You need these scars to be radical." When we talk about innovation, we rarely talk about the scars, the pain, the recovery process. We talk about the success, the end result, the one product that changed the world. I mean, I get it. It's very satisfying to read these stories about WhatsApp selling for $19 billion. It makes me want to work on my billion-dollar idea. But in the process, I forget that there were probably a million other messaging apps out there that didn't make it. Or that WhatsApp themselves thought about quitting multiple times, thinking that WhatsApp just came up with WhatsApp and that was its final form and that was their plan all along. That's like believing that I was going to go to that skate park, get into that half pipe, and think to myself, yeah, I can do this, and then drop in, not even falling once. The truth is that innovation hurts, and it hurts like hell. It's never a one-off success, and it often is like just a painful and dreadful process. People will get angry, they will get exhausted, people will give up, they will quit. And if you don't have a clear vision, quitting is a very logical conclusion. Now, if you read the stories of innovation, the honest ones, you keep reading this thing about them trying and falling and trying again. All of them, Apple, Google, Facebook, Tesla, Pixar, they all tried and kept dealing with something head-on that we fear most in our society: failure. And this is where the story of innovation conflicts with the reality of it. Because we as a society, we punish failure. It's even in the way we're brought up. We're graded in school based on success. But when we fail, there's rarely given the same amount of attention to deal with that failure, to think about it. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying we should be handing out participation trophies, but that silence in the car on the way back should be broken with us talking about what just happened and how to deal with that and how to improve for next time. The trying, the falling, the getting, or actually staying down and then getting up. We should be celebrating that. It's what makes failure the condiment that gives success its flavor. If you look at the stories, the success stories of innovation, they have two things in common. One is that you got to find the right market, which is really hard to do and often involves just plain luck. But the second thing is embracing imperfection. And this is what I see a lot of people doing wrong, especially in this generation filled with perfectionists. Launch any product next time and see what happens. You will focus on the targets of success you've set up for yourselves. And then the goal is to reach those targets as soon as possible, which is fine. Do that, please. But what happens when you fail? What happens when things don't go according to plan? Soon you'll be in a meeting you'll probably call the escalation meeting or the war room. And in that room, in that hour meeting, you'll be forced to come up with solutions for problems that you've been working on for months. Quick fixes, band-aids, right now. And that would be like me falling in that half pipe and then getting up and saying, okay, guys, we need to change the shape of this half pipe right now, and this skateboard, it needs more wheels. I need to make it more stable and more safe. But I'm not trying to be stable or safe. We're trying to be radical. We're trying to innovate. And innovation just hurts. It just does. And that pain will never get easy. You won't get used to it. But here's the one thing that pain will do. It will force you to change your mind. And I love this quote by Ed Catmull, CEO of Pixar. He says, "Success hides problems." And I'll add to that. Failure exposes them. Because no matter what, I can count on failure to tell me the real problem, to tell me the truth that everyone was trying to avoid, the fact that we were wrong, or that I was wrong. And now I'm given the opportunity to change my mind. All the great inventors have this in common. They were great at changing their minds. It's what makes them always be right. We need to fall in order to be radical. We need to fail in order to innovate. We need to see what doesn't work in order for us to see what does. And we need to change our minds as often as we can. And don't worry, like me at that skate park, I fooled myself into thinking that all these guys that were doing it effortlessly, they never went through this. That's what I thought. But they did. They all did. And when I got back up on that skateboard and tried again that day, most even cheered me on. Because they knew that they tried and cried like I did at some point in time. And this is our world of innovation. Everything we use and everything we see is the outcome of such a process. People that earn their scars, embrace their imperfections, and try it again. And if you want to be part of that, then you got to be willing to earn those scars. So this is what I'm saying. Go ahead, pick up that skateboard, start falling, start innovating. But just know that it's going to hurt. And that's okay, because everybody else is doing the exact same thing as you are. And I promise you, after a while, there's no other way than for you to become radical, than for you to become truly innovative. Thank you.